Hello, good afternoon. It is the Everton Daily Live. It's Monday, the 5th of August. Everton won a game of football finally at the weekend. Always good.
You're
in the
back
world.
from your latest holiday?
Yeah. Looking
When's the
for my
next
next one. Don't know. But by about 3, I'll want it. Good win on Saturday. You were there, John. Good victory for Everton.
Very comfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
More to do with Preston, I think. Don't think they were very good.
No.
But half decent start. They looked a lot livelier. The starting 11, more of the guys starting
Yeah.
from the starting 11 made a difference. And obviously it wasn't the blind school playing at the back, really. So.
It couldn't have got worse than Coventry.
No.
I mean, Coventry
was completely and utterly diabolical.
battered Coventry.
But they were a sharper, seemed to be a better organised team than Preston. Obviously, they're spending a lot more money on players and wages and things than Preston are, but both would presumably have aspirations to be in and around the promotion things. But based on those two games, Coventry are currently way ahead of Preston. So.
Yeah. They were good, Coventry.
They were.
The two wide players were miles better than us.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like miles better.
Oh, yeah.
Direct.
The guy who scored the headed goal, probably man of the match, I think. So.
But Everton, like you say, Everton were better at the weekend. Obviously, you got to see Keane versus Keane.
Yeah.
In that battle. Everton did look sharper at the weekend.
They were significantly sharper.
Much better, yeah. So it's build up now, isn't it, to playing tomorrow against Motherwell?
That's the behind closed door. Yeah.
And then
don't think Harrison showed anything in the middle.
I found that a bit weird because Lindstrom is an attacking midfield player. It's where he plays, number 10. And Harrison, he's used wide, and he put Harrison in the middle. If I was going to do, he would have been the least one I'd have put there.
Just put Dwight
I'd have got McNeil there, or Lindstrom there.
Because then he could have put Harrison on the left and saw how that worked.
But he might be saying, well, I want to look at Lindstrom as a wide player as well, which is fine.
Yeah.
No problem. I thought the other Harrison done all right, though. Harrison Armstrong, when he come on, showed some nice touches. He's a good lad. I'll tell you one thing, John, that I found, and I do find it absolutely bizarre from the manager.
That's a big word. Have you done clickbait dictionary this morning?
No, I do.
Shocking. Was it shocking?
It wasn't shocking, but I do find it bizarre that he's persistent with Dominic Calvert-Lewin for 70 minutes of a game.
I don't get that.
When the lad could leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
If a bit comes in, he'll go. He wants to go. I honestly, because if he did do that, and it then went to Beto.
He'd be undercooked.
Beto, no.
Yeah.
I understand you go sort of Dom's like me number one. I get that. No issue with that. But given the other, what did Beto get at Coventry? 20 minutes at Coventry.
It wasn't very long there,
20 minutes at the weekend. Now I know he'll play tomorrow against Motherwell. Well,
he presumably
I just find it weird. That
goes back to the chat we had on the sofa couldn't have been last week because you weren't here, but whenever we had it, where you did the emotive, I'd let him rot in the reserves, and I said I'd play him because if he's undercooked for whatever reason and needs the minutes, I don't know. Maybe that's why he's doing it. The manager, because he is going to be his starting number 9, no matter what the contractual situation is.
But if we know that, if
someone rocks up tomorrow with the right amount of money, he's gone. Yeah.
And then you go, oh God, we've got Beto, and he's done well. He's had 20 minutes in a friendly.
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just found it weird.
That's the closed door one. He'll play 90.
No, but he probably will do. But I mean, you want them to have the feel of the team, don't you? I just think I'd balanced it more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he was gonna if he wanted to say, well, look, I want to get sort of 75 minutes into Dom, then play him 75 minutes at Coventry, and then play Beto for an hour at Preston and put Dom on again.
Them over, yeah.
But, well, you can just give Beto less than you're giving Dom, but enough time to be able to get the feel of it. I just found that a bit weird. I just was like, I don't get that.
Why not just 45 each?
Well, if I
get... It takes the emotion out while you're changing them as well, doesn't it? Because you just say, well, you're getting 45, you're getting 45.
Because I suppose they're playing at the weekend and they both could do 45 tomorrow. Yeah. And then there's it. Then if you were going, well, the chances are Calvert-Lewin's still going to be here for Brighton's sake. I know you can't say that because, like we just said, if a big comes in, he'll go. But like against Roma, he might go, well, I'm going to go with... Because we know Dom's going to start. If everything's equal, Dom is his striker.
Well, he's off at the moment, isn't he? And But we don't know about Beto because he hasn't had any time for us to see.
Well,
but the manager clearly sees them in training, so he might think, "Hey guys, if you think Dom's a bit off, Beto's even further off."
Listen, I'm just saying in terms of making sure they're ready. Just if Dom signs a contract today, of course you go. Well, he's the number one striker. You could just accept that. But I found it a bit weird to get to it.
It's not likely.
No, of course it's not likely, and Man United have been linked again today.
We're way into the zone now. If he signs a new contract, it's just because he's realised no one else will give him what he wants.
Well, just on the back of that, Bologna have been linked with Beto again today. They just lost Schumacher for the season apparently, or whatever, and they want Beto. He's done it in Serie A.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ben Godfrey's flying for them, getting rave reviews over there. They've already got Adam Ola-Luckman over there. They like Everton players, it seems, or ex-Everton players. So
they could have a little clique. Yeah.
So they could, if they come in for Beto, then he could be the one that goes anyway.
How much have they got?
It's been 20 million euros, I think it's been linked.
PSR neutral-ish.
It'd just be sort of. Yeah. And if Sean Dyche, listen, the manager sees him every day. So if Sean Dyche sees him and thinks he's not for me,
could have someone else
then he'll be the one who goes. We'll see.
Everton will sell both, and we'll go with what we've got. Yeah.
Well, Schmitty's out, isn't he, for a while? So they could be in a position where all of a sudden we got no strikers. It's back to the midfielders playing up front again, like Lampard did, or Maupay, who we do have,
who did come on, and did nothing.
Well, I think Sean Dyche he's just going, just get some minutes, so it looks like we're keeping it involved. But I think he'll be interested.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm. But
no, I think you're right though. I think if he does sign a new deal now, it's because no one has really decided to give him what he wants, and they think that's a great position for Everton to be in. I've said all along, till the other week, I wanted Dom to stay. I wanted him to sign a contract.
We would.
I'd still be happy if he stays, but
me too.
But I just think you have to make a decision, and seeing that Atletico had given Gallagher a deadline, and he apparently agreed 1 minute before the deadline was up to go and all. But I think you have to do that, and Everton should have done it with Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
And that's that's a genuine point, because anyone who gets involved in any change processes and stuff like that, we've talked about getting the stadium right and all that sort of thing. Yeah. It sounds daft to be jump from footballers to stadiums, but if you've got 9 months to get something done, doesn't matter what happens. You've got 9 months. If you're told it's only 7. You still get it done. Of course. If you're told it's 6, you still get it, and so on. And I used to joke to you about when we were... Sorry,
Graham, you're right. It's Atalanta. Bologna are interested in as well. It's Atalanta.
So in that sense, give these people...
Apologies.
Give these people deadlines.
Yeah, just...
and we were having that chat here. Me and you had it. Me and Ped have had it. You and Ped... You know what I mean? Any permutation, it's... Well, you draw a line in the sand now. Clearly, you can't burn all your bridges and do the sofa bit of let them rot in the reserves. But you can tell him that's what you're going to do. If you're still here, mate, you just need to know. And that's what Chelsea did with Gallagher, isn't it?
They said
you've no future, you'll be a squad player, and you won't be in the first team group. So they're basically saying you'll be like one of the young kids who wants to, if he gets one day a week in the first team group, then he's very excited, That's you, mate. So that's what you want.
There was a story over the Saturday night, I think it might have been. Again, the whispers on the wind, aren't they? But
it's that time,
It's apparently... It is causing a little bit of thingy, the Calvert-Lewin situation.
What do you mean a bit of thingy?
It's causing a bit of a divide of
what in
the
ranks,
wanting to sell him rather than letting him stay and walk out for nothing.
That's
the frustration.
There's people in the club who say let him run it down. Is that what you mean?
I imagine the manager's probably saying, well, if we can't get rid of him, we've got him for another season. Do you know what I mean? But I just think when players do that, I think it's incredibly risky.
I think you have to plan the dive, dive the plan. And that, that soundbite is all about when you're calm and you're considered, you plan the dive. When you get in the water, you're all excited.
Yeah.
Stick to the plan. And if the plan was, if this guy doesn't sign a new contract, we're selling him, then the manager shouldn't even be in the debate anymore.
I'm not saying it's... by the way...
No, you're just using him as an example. I think Sean's probably more likely to be the character who goes, no, aren't we selling him?
Well, yeah, I mean...
So then you're into, if that's the case, who are the ones who are thinking,
and listen, he might have...
We have no control over it.
For all we know, he could have hinted he is going to sign a new deal now, mightn't he? And the manager might go, well, I'm playing it.
Well, I don't think, again, I would say it's irrelevant. What he's hinting, because he's hinting that to edge his bets, I suppose, because if the right club turns up with a sensible offer, i.e. wants to go and play for them, off he'll go. If the wrong club turns up, i.e. it wouldn't be top of his list, but the money's what he wants, then he'll also go. I can't imagine, maybe I'm just an old-fashioned Evertonian, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin leaving Everton to go to West Ham. Sorry if you're West Ham fans who turn up on this.
That's done anyway now because they've got...
No, I know, that's why I can pick him, because it won't be... Pick them, because it won't be there.
Yeah.
It just... I don't get that at all. It's bad enough players going to Villa, but then they got to pull a Champions League and stuff like that.
They're in a better...
And they're, currently better run, blah, 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 right? But edging your bets by going, oh, well, I might change my mind. Well, no, because... we should have had the conversations with the player. Why aren't you signing a new contract? It's not enough money. Well, that's easy then, because that's all we can afford, or we're prepared to pay. If he said, well, I want to go and, extend my career somewhere else, where, do something different, play overseas,
fine,
whatever, then that's an easier one for him to get out of, because he can say, you know what, no Spanish clubs actually come for me, and that's where I wanted to go.
But that could,
and some of those things might be true, but if it's money, nah.
I'd have no problem if he come out and said, I want to, like Ben Godfrey, want to go and play in another country.
Yeah.
If I was a footballer now, I think I'd want to go and experience the Premier League. Said it, and I know people will disagree, and that's up to them. But we are brainwashed there thinking this is the only league in the world. It's crap. It's exciting at times because it's blood and thunder, but it's not a great league. And if I was a footballer playing for Everton, Everton, frigging life, but if I was a footballer, and I had don't forget, he's not an Evertonian for a start.
Do you think that makes a difference?
It doesn't anymore, because if Wayne Rooney, who's a huge Evertonian, can go to win things, and Ross Barkley, who's an Evertonian, and to leave, and other people who are Evertonians wanted to go at times, then it can't be, can it? We're fans, and we will never, ever, ever be able to be in the position of a professional footballer as an Evertonian or not Evertonian. We'd love to think, I'd love to think, if I had my time over again and done well, and Everton was I was Everton's number 9, or I wouldn't have worn number 9 because I didn't like it, but number 8, and they were like, we want you to stay, and I was like, not Wayne Rooney level because he's unbelievable, but like a good Premier League step. I was Calvert-Lewin say, I think now, I'd stay. I'd be saying, no, I'm going to take the club up, I'm going to get the goals and all that. But the reality is, if other clubs are coming in with money, not necessarily money to make me go, well, they're giving me 150 grand and Everton only pay me 100, so I'm going. But if Everton were in no position to do anything and your career's going on, you might turn around and, the missus might go, fancy a couple of years in Italy, or fancy a couple of years in Spain.
You're right.
And
absolutely.
You might go, well, I love Everton and I'll always love Everton, and I've played for them. So I've got a huge tick. I've got a semi-tick because I wore the Everton kit in games for them. Imagine having a full tick. I played in the Premier League. I was good enough for the first team. Score goals at the Gladys Street. Must be unbelievable, that. If you're not an Evertonian, you're just doing that for a football club, aren't you? And I'm not saying he doesn't enjoy Everton, because he clearly does, but I also think now football is moving on so quick, is that, and players are sort of, and I like the fact it's happening. I like the fact that Ben Godfrey's gone, I'm going to Italy. Not just, I'll look for I'll go to West Ham and play in the Premier League or whatever, or again, not having to go to West Ham, I just mean like another Premier League. Wolves, I'll go to Wolves or whatever. He's gone, I want to go and play in Italy. Like Lookman, outstanding. Lookman went to Germany.
Took him a long time, but then he lands in the right place at the right time.
But if you look at his thing,
a hat-trick in the European
but if you actually look at Lookman's thing, he's been good everywhere he's gone. People can flip that however they want, but he's done well everywhere he's gone, and he's played abroad. And he's come on, had to go in the Prem and done all right in the Premier League, and he's gone by bravery. And Bellingham's the greatest example of it. So if Calvert-Lewin come out and went, I just want to play in Italy because my missus is a model and Milan is a good place. Now, okay, Milan clubs might come and get him, but whoever.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin announced tomorrow that as long as Everton can organise a fee that suits their needs, I'm happy to be paid less than £50,000 a week as long as the club's in Italy. There'd be half a dozen of them saying, come on.
I get it. He's never going to go for that, is he, of course, because he's wants 150 grand.
Exactly. So your balance is how much of it's money, how much is aspiration. And the aspiration might literally be, I don't want to spend, maybe this is his perception, but I don't want to spend my last be polite to us, in my last 2 or 3 seasons of top flight football in a transition club. Because at best, that's what we're a transition, right?
Yeah.
Unless some miracle happened and Qatar bought us and we just said, sod PSR and bought everybody. and then he wouldn't get in the team anyway, right? So there's got to be a balance between that and what you think you're worth. But I've no idea what he gets paid, what Everton offered him and what he wants. But if it was 70, 100, 130, and he's thinking, the difference between staying at Everton and going somewhere else is 30 grand a week, which to the rest of us is a huge amount of money, but probably less so to them, right? That's when the Evertonian wouldn't go, would they?
No, probably not.
You know, we've played this.
But then, but the thing is, though, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's dead difficult. I think it's like Trent Alexander-Arnold, like Real Madrid links keep coming.
Yeah,
now, I know. He was apparently an Evertonian as a kid and all, but whatever, it makes no difference. Been at Liverpool for a long time. He's a big red now, there's no doubt about that. He's won every trophy. He's 26, is he, or something?
Time to move, yeah.
And he might be thinking, well, I've won everything with Liverpool. Okay, Liverpool, might be good again this season. They'll be in the top 4, won't they?
Yeah.
But he might be looking and going, because he's apparently, and this could change in that, of course, but rumours are he's not going to sign a new contract. Because he wants to go and do something different now.
Well, you would.
He might go, well, Real Madrid want me, and I can play for Real Madrid in Spain. I've won everything with Liverpool. I've always got that. I'm a Liverpool legend because of the amount. He will be because of the amount of trophies he's won. And I can go and play in Spain for a few years and experience that. That's like...
Madrid are very good at this.
And Madrid are great at getting people to do it.
Madrid will have, if they really do want him, and the way their squad's being pulled together now, they could say to him, mate, summer 25, come join us.
Garage, yeah.
And he'll go, my goodness, Real Madrid, the biggest club ever, sort of thing. Yeah. And all them names, and I'll be one of them. And they'll love him, because his range of passing will get seen. And
well, it looks like they're doing that with Alphonso Davies at Bayern.
Yeah.
It looks like, they won't sell you this summer, but next summer.
That then puts him in the spot of being a Liverpool legend who's running his contract down. And the club will want to move him on, and he just keeps saying no. So you have to have grown-up conversations then. Now, those grown-up conversations are you're planning the dive, aren't they? Right? So Everton must have had them.
Yeah.
So unless Dom, is playing who blinks first, and I don't have an issue with that either. It's just negotiating stance.
Yeah.
And and he's a bit like Brendan Rodgers. He's got an envelope, which he's handed to somebody.
There's about 3 people who've gone to disappoint him in the club.
And inside it says, "I'm going to sign in the end anyway. I'm just trying to get the best deal I can for myself." Then that's fine, right?
Fair play to him.
But we fans are quite emotive, and you heard it after the Coventry game. It can't be arsed. He's not trying. I don't. We've had these chats before. I don't subscribe to that at all. But if he's not playing well, and he doesn't look quite on it yet, and the thing he does most in the game is get caught offside, until the window's closed, people will keep attributing it to the turmoil that's going on in his head about which club he's going to be at. Where I would have thought if he genuinely wanted away, he would be playing right now and in the first part of the season to show people what they could have. No point him suddenly waking up in September and they see what they could have had and they didn't do it.
I know, but I also don't think that pre-season would make anyone come and buy it anyway.
No, I don't mean pre-season per se, but if there was doubts, because what you'd be showing is your mental approach, wouldn't you? Right?
But he also might be showing an approach that I don't want to get injured. Because certainly against Coventry, he might have just had his boots on the wrong feet, but he looked dreadful. And Salford, he looked terrible at Salford.
Wasn't hugely better at the weekend.
No. But like I say,
I mean, a bad touch got the pen, didn't
like
it?
Like you say, and like you just said there, you can interpret that
any way you want.
He might have signed a new 5-year,
and we don't
4-year deal 3 weeks ago, and we'd all be going, he's just playing his way in.
Yeah.
So you're right, it does look like that, but you leave yourself open with that, don't you? And again, if he turns around and goes, look, I've given Everton 8 years. We haven't done anything in that time. I've had 1 European excursion in that time. Spent a ton of money. We've never done anything. I'm 27, I'm nearly 28. I just fancy Newcastle, because they look like they're a team that might get into Europe again. They've just been in the Champions League recently. They're offering me big money. I want to go there. I just go, okay, fair enough. I get all that.
The rumour he turned them down.
I get all that. I don't think he turned them down. He just didn't. They wouldn't pay him what he wanted. And that was before the 30th of June, wasn't it? And he'd not come back for him. But they're trying to shift a centre forward on money that won't, they don't want, but no one's come for him yet either.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Calvert-Lewin thing will run till.
Well, we said it would run deep, didn't we? Yeah.
But that's what my initial question was.
You get back to,
I just
he's
don't
then
understand,
playing.
like, Beto's
getting 10 minutes. Yeah.
But Atalanta, it is. Bologna are in the race for him according to Italian sources, but Atalanta won him because Schumacher has got injured, and we'll see whether or not.
So another man who leave Everton to go and play in Europe.
Champions League.
Yeah.
But he's done it in Italy, hasn't he? He's played in Italy, and again, he listen, I'm not trying to kid anyone here. He hasn't exactly looked amazing when he's played for us. There's something there.
Oh, definitely.
The awkwardness, and if you give him, I think if he played more games, but if the manager knows, and the coaching staff know better than we do, because they see him every single day of the week, if they look and think he's just not for us,
maybe not for this league, almost, yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens.
So that would make it most likely he'd go to a league where he's done it before.
Yeah, and they look and will know that, won't they? And if it is Atalanta, they'll look and go, well, this fella.
Have they got any wingers we could take?
I don't think they'll want. I don't think a very good one they've got would want to come back to us.
Well, it was Koeman.
Mole, come back and have to double up with your fullback and not go forward. Just have to defend for most of the game.
Right.
Not a great sell.
No.
Is it? For an attacking player, so interesting to see.
I just hope Nonto, when it comes to it, runs his contract down. When's he out of contract?
4 years left. Or 3 years left, hasn't he?
Oh, crap.
Well, it's interesting. They're trying to get Jonathan Rowe, who's a player who was linked with Everton, in January. Leeds are trying to get him. He was very much a wide player in Nonto's position from Norwich. So Nonto's desperate to come here. Everton haven't got the money and won't pay what. And I've got no issue with it. Leeds value him at 25 million and we don't value him at that.
That's fine.
So I'm not going all over social media saying Leeds are a disgrace. And
no.
they should sell him for what we want to buy him at.
We're not talking to journalists.
Exactly. The player's worth what Leeds think he's worth.
And let's know when this is getting signed yet, is he?
Well, they buy me.
Maybe that's another.
Now, haven't he?
Yeah. That's another thing why Lindstrom perhaps played on the right. It's just part of the negotiating stance. Look, we don't need a right-sided guy. We've got one.
We'll see. What I mean, to be honest, if it's Rowe or Nonto, Everton were offered, I'd probably go for Rowe because he's cheaper.
Yeah.
Same age.
Well, this is the chance we always have.
Potential.
The attributes we're looking for, you can get lower cost and higher ceilings and all that sort of stuff. I mean, although we're not really about Man United, other than they annoyed us.
Yeah.
The sporting director at Bayern was quite amusing, wasn't he, over the weekend?
He's basically just said.
He says, it's wonderful. We love him. He's had 2 great seasons here. The fans adore him. United are going to have to really try and get him out of here, which is code for you've got a guy who's injured now, haven't you?
If you want to pay him.
Yeah.
You want this fella, you best pay, yeah. And Liverpool spanked them at the weekend, so, Evan Viking says it's just me who finds it a bit weird how quiet the media team have been lately. No training videos, no behind-the-scene videos, all very basic. I hope that isn't the manager's influence because it's up to the club to communicate with the fans, and this is a key way of doing it. He seems a little obsessed with certain old-school views. Could also be nothing at all to do with him, to be fair. As for the Preston game, he looked better and sharper. I've quietly liked the look of Irabunum. Yeah, he's been Everton's best player, certainly the last 2 games.
He looks a little bit better again in the weekend.
Good player.
Yeah.
Lindstrom grew into it and did well when he came on. Just hope we don't push him out on the wings. It's a waste of his talents.
Which one? Ndai or Lindstrom? Or
both of them, I think. Both of them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They both want to play where the other one plays. Decore. I'll come back to Decore in a minute. O'Brien definitely isn't slow either. In fact, he seems to be our quickest defender right now. Must have been slow on the turn, something people didn't like. Seen him a few times get caught on the turn. When he gets going, he's quick. So it'll be that reaction time. It's up to the manager and the coaches to work on that, isn't it? Being ready to take it on the arse.
Slower turn. When we see Branthwaite again. Just being faster than the others doesn't make you fast, does it?
No, I think sprint-wise he might be quicker than Branthwaite, but the
up to
Branthwaite is certainly, and all that. But good to see Tarky back at the weekend.
It was,
rumours of his demise were
right. Greatly
exaggerated.
Dived in a few times. Which,
he does. Well, get them out of your system. What did you make of Lindstrom then? Your first opportunity to see him Everton.
Oh, I thought early on, clearly wants the ball, which is good. I don't know how much you saw on the telly. Well, not much probably because the bloody stream wasn't working. But he's always seems to be in space asking for the ball, which is good. He's going to have to wake up to the physical challenge of English football.
Held on to it a bit too long for
him. But he's tenacious, so he doesn't give up, which is good. So I think the manager will probably like that. He'll press right up to the byline, in the attacking half.
His numbers are good, yeah.
Yeah. So I think if he gets up to Premier League speed, he'll be all right. And one or two runs he tried to do, he went past people. I don't know what it is because he's not blindingly fast, is he?
No, he's got good balance.
That's what I mean. He's not a big dribbler, but I was about to say he's got quick feet. So he's going to do people that way by changing direction. Yeah. It's like a rugby player stepping off someone and they look foolish, don't they? I suspect he's that sort. Yeah, so I would thought it was all right. Yeah, and good free kick.
Oh, great free kick. Yeah, that was very
Ped
good.
was chuffed. He filmed it.
Yeah, there you go. Great free kick. Thoughts, like I said, thoughts Boonham was Everton's best player at the weekend. Again, 2.5 games on the run. Salford, he was the best player when he on the pitch.
Needs to be on the ball more.
Coventry. I don't know. Thought he done.
Ghana made a bit difference as well.
Yeah, of course. Best midfielder we've got.
Yeah,
that's right. By some distance.
Yeah, so that allows people to play.
Yeah.
Manager clearly, if they all get fit, he's got some choices, hasn't he? Which is always a good thing to do.
Who's going to play with the Drisser? That's the
first one.
Yeah. His other ones are much of a muchness at the moment, aren't they? James Garner, Decore,
he's injured, isn't he, Garner?
James Garner's injured, so he's the calf, isn't it? So I think they're going to let that settle down, but he'll hope to.
It's the time of year when you would give time as a healer, wouldn't you? You don't take chances or anything, which is probably what people spooked about Tark. He's had a knock. Where is he?
Well, Schmitty's a disappointing one because that's looking at 6 weeks, I think, for that, which is a disappointing one.
It's a real shame.
He was looking sharp. That heavy kick on the foot, wasn't it? So he's out. Obviously, James Garner, they've got to worry over. Michalenko was back.
And he was all right.
Okay for the first 45. Yeah. Jake O'Brien, and what did you make of him for the 45 minutes?
He was nervous, I think, wasn't he? Which is weird, but maybe not weird.
Opening game. He hasn't played for 2 weeks, had he?
Yeah. So he looked I'll call it rusty then. So he looked a bit rusty. Wasn't as good in the air as I thought he might be.
Really? I thought he defended.
Just a few moments. Yeah, that's all. I just had high expectations. I don't know. Clearly better in the air than Branthwaite. So
cleared through for him under his bar late on, brilliant.
Well, that's what I mean. Once he got over that, maybe rusty 20 minutes, then they were we were probably one up by then as well, which made a difference and took his goal well, I thought. Didn't need asking, did he? The ball just come back to him and bang,
So it was a
good. Do with a striker who does that.
Well, yeah, it was a good start. That was a good start.
But I thought, I think it's great promise.
Illiman and I. Good feet again.
Again, he's another one who's got
little bit
feet.
Pop it off a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Who else? Harrison Armstrong done well again for me when he come on. Looked comfortable, brave on the ball. 18.
Yeah.
He was enjoy watching him. Roman Dixon's done quite well this pre-season.
He did.
He didn't get enough time for me at the weekend, but he's done. He's done quite well this season.
Yeah.
I think of anyone else. Mopai.
Who's the half-time kid who come on? The other fella who came on at Coventry.
Oh, Eli Campbell.
Yeah,
he's a centre back, but he's playing.
Well, that's what I thought. That he was playing as a full back, but he's a centre back, isn't he? So they got.
He did do well. He defended there. Actually, Campbell 1v1.
So those two both came on at Coventry as well. So obviously the manager's got them in his thoughts, which is good. And maybe we're just doing some crazy things like don't buy. We can't fill every position because of money, I suppose. Therefore, some of these kids are going to get the chance, and if they take it, don't they?
Well, that's one of the disappointing things. The Ricardo Rodriguez, because Everton had agreed loosely a deal for him, but obviously financially we can't do it right now, and he's got other offers. So we think he's gone off to Real Betis, but he'd have been really good for us. Left back option, great crosser of the ball, miles better than Michalenko going forward. Would have been a great other left back to have.
Cool.
But we simply can't do anything at the moment with money.
No.
Which is, again, I don't know whether this is to do with the takeover. I clearly it's be above my pay grade, I think, because I just look and think we will 100% have sold Jarrod Branthwaite by the 30th of June next year.
So let's cash then.
And therefore, that's 70, 80 million cash that we should be playing with now, which a lot of clubs would do. I'm not saying spend it all now, of course, but the amount of times we've gone through how you can amortise it and stuff. Because of,
but the key word there, that's not cash.
Yeah, no, so it must
it's all
be.
about shaping
but we've
deals.
we've brought 70 million, and it depends how that money's coming so far. But we were told the other week, we're certainly very cash rich at the minute because we've got season ticket money, we've got TV money, we've had player sales money. So whether or not it's simply to make the club look as healthy as it is at the minute for this takeover,
no, I wouldn't.
People say, I don't know.
I say that, the people making the decisions, maybe they do think like that, and maybe more experienced people wouldn't think like that.
Yeah.
I struggle to understand. I suspect they've just got a budget, put it together, and they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
Even and I don't know whether they've got a mechanism to say, actually, we've got in a bit more than we thought we were going to get in, or conversely, a bit less because maybe a number of weeks ago they thought, oh, Dom's gone. Money in the bank.
Yeah, well, it seems like the next round of spending will be if we can shift Beto or Dom, or if it's Michael Keane or Mason Holgate, Neil Maupay, these players who were available.
It's funny, isn't it, when you do the different debates. I know one's a striker, one's a centre back, but you've got a striker, or in Dom, who perhaps we want to sign a new contract, and you've got Michael Keane, who probably won't even get offered one until it's next to nothing type of thing, and they're both in the same boat, which is going through pre-season, and perhaps
both only got a year left, well, less than a year now.
They're both finishing June next year, and one would expect that both of them would like to be gone.
And Maupay's another one. He's got whatever it is, 10.5 months or something left on it. He's next summer as well. He's gone. So there's three. Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's been linked again to Saudi Arabia over the weekend, he's got less than a year left on a contract. So, I mean, what would you do with him? Because me and my dad were having this conversation yesterday. Doucouré, because he gets important goals, but
he does.
He also, I imagine, you could probably get about 20 million quid for a 31-year-old. If it is Saudi Arabia, he'd come in and he's on big money.
Take it. Yeah, you have to. Anyone in there last year, you're getting 20 million quid.
You've got to take it.
You're doing really good, aren't you?
And Everton then, we were linked with Habib Diarra last week, which I was delighted with, but obviously we haven't got the money, it's irrelevant, isn't it? But someone like him fits the bill, and especially because we have, for that midfield slot, we've got James Garner, Trisha Garner, Gay, Tim Irabunum, who can all play in that. We've got Abdoulaye Doucouré at the minute. Obviously, if he went out, you'd have to go and get someone in Diarra's 20 years of age. I like the look of Amir Richardson, who they're saying is €10 million to get him. Don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what they're saying. He's 22 years of age. One of them could come in for much less than Doucouré. Then you start, you've got it again. It's a call, then, isn't it?
Well, it is a call, and when we do the business stuff, we joke about it because I've just said they've got a budget and they're sticking to it. And I say to you when we do the business stuff that, well, your budget lasts for one day. After that, it's a forecast.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the decision-making process is in football clubs. Maybe the PIV could tell us something. In football clubs, or indeed our one in particular, about when things are not going as we thought, whether they're better or worse, how they adapt. Because the easiest thing in the world is to have set the budget sometime, back in June or whenever they do it, and said, that's it, we stick to that now. And then, because how do you shape deals by saying, well, you know what, if we knock 5 mil off Dom's, that might get him gone. And of course, we won't get what we want, but we will be able to get these and we won't get those unless he goes. And if he goes in the last couple of days, then we'll get an inflated price anyway. So actually,
and it's harder to do it.
Yeah. So I'm making it up. If we get 25 million with a couple of days to go, whoever we want is going to cost 5 million more anyway. So let's discount it now and get it done. Give them to the manager early, bed them in, blah, blah, blah. And I just don't know that sort of budget management and deal management, how it's done. I suspect the sporting side of it's quite straightforward of, attributes, what we want and all that sort of stuff. But who does the numbers? Who does the pennies? Who does that? Because if the PSR stuff told us nothing else about some of the, less than perfect practices we were employing at the time, and of course we haven't got machinery messing about now, have we? But that we don't do that as slickly perhaps as a non-football type business would. Who run to budgets, run to targets, run to KPIs, run to forecasts, and everything's management information is king, so to speak. So it's an interesting one.
Are we in a sort of like unique position this summer, as in not good unique, but a unique position in this summer where, I mean, say unique, but where there's obviously the owner is trying to get a sale. We know that. Clear as day, isn't it? We've still got a temporary board in place, an interim CEO and all that. We're moving to a new stadium where things should get better anyway, financially. But we're in this sort of holding bay at the moment where, even though, I mean, the manager alluded to this the other day, said finances have got better than what they were, which is good, obviously. We're hoping it's going to get better again, and it will do. But are we just in that spell, do you think, where people aren't making those decisions because there's still uncertainty? Whereas it seemed like the other week when they thought the Freakin thing was happening, there was a bit more. And I don't know whether that would have made any difference, by the way, right now, if Freakin would have took over. I honestly don't know, and I don't know whether you would know either. But it seemed we were quite bullish the other week, and the stuff that was getting said and bits that were in between what we were hearing from different sources were yet they're doing this. Then the minute Freakin thing, they've retreated a little bit more defensively.
I think I think the analogy there were DCL's not trying because he doesn't want to get injured because he wants to transfer. Freaking's happened, and our behaviour appears to be looked at now from a different place around that.
No, I'm just asking, is that possible? I don't know.
Always, yeah. I think if a new owner was going to do anything, that might have a material impact. Because PSR is an issue, blah, blah, blah. It would be in the provision of cash, Okay, and I would imagine that as part of the deal, they would have put some cash into the business. Well, they did, but it's getting spent on the stadium. Right? So yes, I'm sure it has some impact. But I think this goes back to Kev Thelwell saying, you can't plan, we can't do this. No, mate, you have to operate within the constraints or the, whatever you've got in the moment. You can't just sit and wait for tomorrow. And if we're critical, we do, I'll say it again, there is a perception, rightly or wrongly, that our club doesn't do today until tomorrow what we might think it should have done yesterday. Because there's always that thing that, well, we go and get the third choice right back, and then the second choice right back turns up. But you can't do that. So I was coached business-wise very early on. All you can do is make any decision at the right time with the best information available to you at that time. And if it turns out to be wrong, that's life. Because at the time you made it, you wouldn't have made it, would you? But if you do, and the key word you used was uncertainty. But if you're uncertain, if you're an interim chief exec or whatever, whoever you are who's got the final say on these things, the easiest thing in the world is to not make a decision. Not. I mean, I don't know who sits in front of who sits in front of Dom and says, mate, does the Gallagher conversation that Chelsea did, or whether we'd even do that conversation. The person who can get Dom what he wants is his agent. It's not our job to find clubs to sell him to, right? Because we're not trying to push him out the door. We've offered him a contract. He doesn't want to take it, right? The other part of your thing about we were bullish, I think we've done the work that made us feel bullish. We've got those deals over the line, and I think part of the bullishness was probably we haven't breached PSR. But it's always going second phase type stuff. It's almost like playing football, isn't it? Second phase is those like middle couple of weeks of August going into the end of the window when we've all seen a couple of games and clubs start to see what they have and haven't got. Who knows whether Newcastle would come back and go, you know what, we really need a guy who can lead the line. There's one over there who will come. We just need to give him another 20 grand a week and he's here. And that's your point all the way back to the beginning. If that happened and we're on our heels, do we then dither about whether to let him go? Because we know what it's like when he was injured. And we're not prolific to start with, are we? But in a couple of weeks' time, we'll see more of Lindstrom. We'll have seen more of Tim. We'll have seen, you know. But I don't know where the goals are going to come from. That's always going to be our issue until we have some.
Well, that's why I suppose that's why they bought and die, isn't it? Because he had scored goals in the Championship. He didn't have a great season. Lindstrom didn't have a great year last year. We know that. But he got goals in Germany. He got goals in Denmark. Hopefully he can get goals here. That's the thing.
Certainly based on last season, you would expect, and again, it's always half full type stuff, isn't it? But both of those will score more goals than McNeil and Harrison will.
Well, McNeil hasn't got any record of scoring goals other than 3 or 4,
until our season.
Until he had one great season, which was half a season. But that's fine because maybe he'll have another good season.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
You know, he's proved near the end of the season.
Maybe he's a Rashford, hot cold.
But I think the thing with McNeil is getting him space because he's not quick. He can't get himself half a yard enough times to shoot. So that's why when he pops up centrally and there is space, he's got a great dig on him. We know he's got a lovely left foot.
Yes,
You know, he proved it. I think if he had a more attacking fullback, he would get more space.
To be a bit of distraction anyway.
Exactly, the fullback would take it and that space should be on. I think what Dwight's got to do more of is get into the box when it's down the other side. He hangs back too much and he comes onto things too late. When he's in there, as we saw at Nottingham Forest last season, great first touch, bang, top in, you win the game. You know, Newcastle at home, nicks the ball, carries it on. They back off, give him that space he needs.
Don't give him space.
It's in the back of the net.
As soon as you get opposition defences thinking you can't let him have a little bit of space, then that helps everyone, doesn't it?
You need someone to be running then.
Of course you do.
And then that gives you it.
It's all Mikalenko's fault then. Yeah.
It is. But he's a good defensive defender, isn't he? You can't have a go with him for being something he isn't.
Yeah.
He just isn't. We had one of the greatest left-backs in the Premier League era. And then we had a really good one. Followed them up with Luca Dean, but they were both very attacking fullback. Like Leighton Baines, love him, wasn't amazing defensively. Luca Dean wasn't amazing defensively, but they were great going forward. Mikalenko's really good defensively, 1v1, very good. He's not great going the other way.
Ashley's played both fullback positions in the last 2 games.
There you go. A few people saying, we'd have to sell Decore if the deal came in for.
Of course we would.
We would, and again, Everton might look and go, you know what, 31, 20. It happened with Iwobi, didn't it, last year? Iwobi had less than a year left and Fulham, and 20 million, you can have him. He played the first 3 Premier League games for Everton last season, and then he went off to Fulham. We had to. And we're in the same boat now, and that's why a couple of people saying Dom will be gone because Newcastle will come back in for him later on. They probably will. Like you said, they'll probably come back and go, well, we were going to have to pay 35 for him in June. Now we only have to pay 20 or 22 or something.
Yeah. And we'll take that.
And we have to be ready to go with ours, though, because otherwise you're on the back foot again. You're going, oh my God, Dom's gone. We're expecting that, really.
I wonder how much, I'm sure there's lots, answering my own question, lots of back corridor stuff. Because Everton can run that scenario, and we could play the game. So, 3 or 4 days before the end of the window, Newcastle offer 21 million for him. Would you take it? Tell them that now. Then.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, I think the player,
we've set the floor.
If the player really wants to go, and again, he might turn around and sign a new contract. Fine, great, no issue.
That would be good.
We'd know then, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But if he does want to move on and he thinks Newcastle, okay, they're closer to where I want to be playing, as in up the table. They've offered me big money, whatever it may be, and he's gonna go. We're gonna have to. At least we're getting money in for an asset, and we're losing probably 100 grand a week off the wage bill for him. Now Everton may well have 2 or 3 striker options lined up. Breuer keeps popping up. Whether people like that or not, it's irrelevant. If the club like him, that's all that matters. And they might be able to get him or whatever. The problem you've got is, the longer you hang around, the harder it becomes, doesn't it? Everton, I'm not saying he would have come here anyway, but Everton might have been able to go and get Nicholas Füllkrug from Dortmund. Not saying he wanted him, I'm just using him as an example. Big, powerful number 9, knocks people about, seems like what Dyche likes. Everton might have been able to go and get him. Again, for clarity, I'm not saying we should have done, I'm just saying, but he's gone to West Ham. John Duran's at Villa, he wants out. Now, Everton might turn around and go, we get rid of Dom. We're prepared to pay Villa the 30 million they want for this lad. He might, I don't know. Or
would you?
I don't know, because he's got loads of good attributes, but I don't know. I mean, why are Villa letting him, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm unsure on him, really.
Because they've spent the money.
Well, yeah, maybe, of course, from a PSR.
They need to recover some.
David Dattra for Fofana, Chelsea are looking to loan out. Again, he's another one. He's got some good attributes, but you look and go.
Tammy's gone quiet.
I wouldn't touch it.
Me neither.
I'll be honest.
We talked about
I think a few years ago, I'd have had him. I think the knee injury, he doesn't score a lot of goals. Don't know.
I do, no.
And
you need to avoid that as well.
Adebayo, I like. But again, it depends.
Keep saying him, yeah.
Just because I think,
Was it 10 did he
for
get
what
last?
Deitch wants.
He got 10 in the league last season.
10 in the league.
Yeah.
He got 17 the season before. He got 10 the year before that. So he's into double figures most seasons. He's big and strong. He seems like a Deitch type player. I think, but we could be. We keep saying we could be talking. We need to
all of the above,
strikers.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Yeah.
You know, if Atalanta genuinely do come in and want better, I think if they offered €20 million,
thank you.
I think Everton would go. Like you said before, it's if Everton got back to PSR neutral with him, they'd probably go right. We've got our and for all we know, Beto could go and Everton could buy Adebayo, say. And they're looking, going, we know Dom's going to go and we've got Breuer.
Yeah.
And then you're in the realms of, is Adebayo and Breuer better than Calvert-Lewin and Beto?
Debatable.
Well, if you said Adebayo...
The fact that it's debatable
but it
shows
is,
you, doesn't
but
it?
you'd look, wouldn't you? And you go, well, Adebayo
10 last
got
season.
10 last season. I had an injury for a few, because he'd have probably got more. He was doing
Brozier does injuries as well.
Well, that's the flip side, right?
Yeah.
But you'd look and go, if you were just doing numbers...
Yeah.
Would Adebayo get as many as Dom in the Premier League for Everton this season? You might go, yeah.
Yeah.
You mightn't get 8 more or 10 more, but he might get what Dom gets.
Yeah.
And then you go, right, would Breuer get as many as what Beto got last year? Or more? And you might go, you get more, I think. If you come in and you went, Armando, you're an Everton player now, you're not on loan. We're not having a look at you. We've took our gamble, or we don't say that too. We've put our investments in you.
Showed our trust, yeah.
And then there you go.
Yeah,
you might get 5, 6, 7, 8 off him, and then all of a sudden you go, well, them two got 10 between them last season, and these two have got 18. So already you're 8 goals. Again, this is all hypothetical, and
but that's the scenarios that go.
I'd go and buy Konate. I keep saying it. Go and buy Karim Konate from Red Bull Salzburg, like that. Go and get him. Before a German
somebody else
takes him or someone else takes him.
And he's worth loads the year after.
You probably get him for 20 million.
Yeah.
Now, and then again amortise it and all of that. But these are different conversations, aren't they? Because Everton are in it, like you said, Everton are probably looking at the moment, and Kevin Thelwell might be doing that exact thing.
But you have negotiating assets, you know, and it's surprising how effective they can be. You know, clearly one of those is cash. How much do you need up front?
Yeah.
But if you trade less up front for a bigger sell-on or better add-ons or a higher fee, but you know you're going to get it slower and all those sorts of things, that I don't know who does all that deal shaping. I know, you know, Bill Kenwright was at the centre of that for years. Then I know how little he knew how to shape deals. You know, it's like we've done deals for years on players, and therefore that's how we do them. But the ones who come along with a little bit of innovation, a little bit of shaping, you'll get players that way, which you didn't think you could possibly get.
Yeah.
So the only, you know, it's your own imagination is what limits your ambition, really, isn't it? So we're in that world where, and your culture is, let's do it tomorrow, and let's not necessarily communicate as effectively as the fans would like us to. We end up having these chats instead.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couple of quick comments. Tony says, "I lads wanted to get your opinion of the squad going into the new season with the lack of depth, injuries and players we want out the squad. How many signings do we still need? Will we get them in? Will we's how long's a piece of string, isn't it? I think Everton need a left back. They need another centre midfield player. They need a winger and they need a centre forward. That's what I think we need. We probably need a couple more on top of them, but that's what I think we need. Can we scrape by in a couple of those positions? Probably. do we want to scrape by? No, we don't. We want to move forward. And
we're an injury away from not having a left back, aren't we?
Yeah. You know, whether people go on about the right back or not, there is 3 or 4 who can play there, but there's 1.5 who can play left back.
Is Ashley Young the half, is he?
Yeah. Well, Ashley Young is a really great pro.
Yeah.
And he's a great squad player to have because he can fill in a couple of positions. But he should be a sub.
He
should really only be 20 minutes. Go ahead, Ashley, go and use all your experience.
Yeah. Drop in midfield.
25. You can even play centre midfield.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In an emergency.
Yeah.
So he's the filler.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be. Ashley Young's got to play. Michalenko, and Nico's picked up injuries every year, don't forget. Then we're back to Ashley Young again at left back, and you can't ask a fella who's 40 this season to bomb up and down a Premier League pitch. He's as great as he is in terms of fitness.
Be in the same decade as Pedsu, won't he?
You know, it's one of them, isn't it? Ryan says, lads, which is one specific player one of you will buy with the 20 to 30 million that we may be willing to spend this summer? If there was one, you don't need to name a player, but if we had £25 million, where would you put the money? If we could only get
goal
one
scorer,
more striker,
yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. But if I'm looking and thinking, if the squad was as it was and I had 25 million to spend more, it would probably be on a winger.
Oh, okay.
So then I'd have to look.
In that, I'd go for the striker.
I'd have to look and go. Nonso, Rowe.
Then you're into names, then, yeah.
McPartland. If anyone's watched mine and Ned's FIFA career thing, you'll see how good Banda is. I'd have bought Crescencio Somerville before West Ham got him, in all fairness, but Banda would be one I would go for from
See how good he is at losing the ball.
Banda's brilliant. It's you defensively.
Well, exactly. So you're not watching Banda, you're watching me. Oh, go and watch our FIFA series. Oh, yeah. He's good, isn't he?
He's pacey.
Gives the ball away all the time.
Ned gives the ball. But you see, Lamech Banda, someone like that, is very, very much in the non-so explosive style and can go play either side, can score goals. Wouldn't be 25 million. Probably 16, 17 million euro, maybe.
So you'd have change to spend on butties and
exactly, yeah. You know, all of that. So probably them.
What did the questioner have?
He didn't. He just said, "Where would you spend
we need to know what he has to say
would you
now.
spend it?" The Blues would go for Dario Osorio, good player, and Konate. Nick Clark is maybe the thinking Brandtwaite's the backup left back. You can't.
No.
You can't, because he's the centre back, isn't he? We can't start going.
Dwight McNeil must be
I'd rather play Dwight McNeil at left back. I would, or Jack Harrison.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would.
Just get goal side and then play wing back, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see. I think, again, the other thing is the takeover, which is huge.
There's a tipping point during August between whether we come out being a lot weaker or visibly stronger.
Are we weaker right now? Yes or no? I see, because someone asked me this the other day, and I think we've lost Onana. I was a fan of Onana. He was up and down.
Think we are weaker.
But I look and think that the manager didn't like him.
You might say we got rid of Onana. We got 2 in.
Yeah.
You know,
so
Ndiaye
and we've got Ndiaye and we've got Lindstrom in for Danjuma and Dobbin. Well, neither of them
they're both
really contribute. Dobbin scored 1 goal and that was it. Danjuma done nothing. He got a goal in the Goldman Cup, but didn't really do anything. The other two,
we're not weaker.
I don't think they're weaker. Are we similar? Probably, yeah. You could say Godfrey was a really good defensive thing. We've got Jake O'Brien in. Is it? So I don't know. It's debatable, isn't it? But we need more. We absolutely need more. I wouldn't be happy if the window's shut today, because I'd be thinking we're going to have to be very lucky with injuries. And if we are, we'll be fine. But if we're not and it goes the other way, we could be banging trouble. So I don't know whether that answers your question.
As we expect Brandtwaite to still be here this time next year. Or just...
Well, not this time next year, John. No, he'll be playing for Man City.
Yeah, or it's just gone. Yeah. Where's he going to play this season?
Centre back with Tahi.
Okay. Where's Brian? Yeah.
O'Brien.
So where's O'Brien going to play?
Sub. Is that the progression? Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's dabbling with 3.
Well, I mean, he might well be. I don't know. But O'Brien, and what he said after the game at the weekend, he basically said he's got no experience, so you can't expect him to play in the Premier League, which was weird to that effect.
That's good.
So he'll be one, I think. He might be progression planner. And that
That's
would be
what
very sensible.
It is. And if he comes in, he'll play the cups and stuff.
Exactly, and he will play games, of course he will. And he
yeah.
might be, there might be times when the
You can have a rotation.
who's just said Branthwaite could be back up. Branthwaite may well. The odd game, fill in it. I mean, I wouldn't, because it's not going to do him any good. But anyway, we're going. We'll be on more than a game in 5 minutes. And I agree, losing Minter, because Dom didn't go to Newcastle, was a sick, that he's looked very lively for Brighton in pre-season, very quick, explosive, scored goals. And we'll see him on day one. Woohoo! Right, the magic super highway link out of space is there for you. You don't have to go anywhere. Get yourself a drink. Join me and John for more chat on More Than a Game Live in 5 minutes. See you in a minute.